What's up? This is Stephanie. This is Wrestling Color Podcast right here on YouTube. Make sure you thumbs up the video. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. It is free, so there's no excuse. Make sure you hit me in the comments. I love talking to y'all and hearing y'all opinions on what we're talking about and you joining in. Make sure you follow me on all platforms up there. I got Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest because I post pictures. Yes, I had to tone it down a bit, keep it cute, you know. I hope you all are enjoying my, I guess, episode dump right now. The reason why I'm posting all of this is because my classes are going to be ramping up. My son, is in school and that's ramping up right now. And I want to get everything off of my old computer because I got this brand new magnificent computer. And I hope I sound good now that I figured out how to get my sound and shit in order. Mm, mm. Uh, Also, I have Ohana Punch because I just got over a cold, not the other C, a cold. And so I'm a little bit congested. But you all know what we finna talk about. You all know what we finna talk about because right here, this is my arena. Y'all know I'm a social worker. Y'all know I'm going to school to get my social work credentials. So this right here is where it's at for me. Okay? Let me just go ahead and shout out Big E for winning the WWE Championship, cashing in on a Monday, random Monday, to get a ratings pop. Good for him. Don't know what that's going to do and where we're going to go from here. Um, Bianca Belair getting rock bottom at her homecoming by Becky McGregor. So, there's that. I'm not expecting anything more out of this match. I'm just waiting for Naomi and Sonya to be put on the Extreme Rules card because I'm going to Extreme Rules. And I'm going to be honest, I don't give a fuck. I want that shit to be loaded with complete nonsense so me and my boo can have a good time, okay? And let that be known. So look out for me. I got the Bloodline shirt. He got the New Day Rock shirt. We're going to be in the audience having a good time. So if you see me on TV, hi. All right. Let's get into this episode because this right here is just as bad as the Speak Out movement. I think this is like Speak Out 2.700. This is Speak Out if it was a part two because the fallout from this Dark Side of the Ring, man, is something else. So we're gonna run through some things. I'm not gonna go through the whole episode because y'all should watch it. Vice is got some good shit over there to where I'm just finna fucking, you know, subscribe to Vice and get the app. But the funny thing is, you gotta get it through Spectrum, and that's a whole nother thing. But they do give you 2 free hours. So if you download the Vice app, they give you 2 free hours and 30-minute blocks. So and it's nonstop. So if you watch it once, you wait a couple days and you get the 2 free hours again. So that's just a little bit of put you up on game. So let's talk about the Dark Side of the Ring, the airplane ride from hell, and 10 things we learned. 10 things that I learned and where I was very disgusted. First of all, they went through 10 carts of booze. On the ride was Tommy Dreamer, Jim Ross, Rob Van Dam, Kurt Hemming, Scott Hall, Ric Flair, Brock Lesnar, um, who else? Dustin Rose. Um, Crash Holly, I think, was on there. And what's that fucker's name? Oh man, 1, 2, 3 Kid. X Pac was on there. In the front of the plane was Vince McMahon and company. Terry Reynolds was in the front. Her and Dustin had just got a divorce, so Dustin was very tender at this particular time. So at one point, this was a plane ride again from coming back from London after a big European tour to the United States. It's a overall. This took place between 14 hours. At one point, they were on the tarmac for 7 hours. While they was on the tarmac for 7 hours, they went through 3 carts of booze. Okay. If you've never flown a plane, the flight attendants go up and down the cart periodically, and they have a little cart, and they got liquor on it, like little liquor shots and stuff. And you could get a liquor shot, and you could get a Sprite and peanuts mostly, because I haven't flown in a while. So when I flew, They gave us a meal for free and a soda or whatever, but you can get liquor and you can get drunk before you get on the plane. This is just so bizarre to me. You schedule marijuana, but alcohol will kill you where you fucking stand, and that's not a scheduled drug. Whatever, that's a whole nother issue for another day. So these guys got shit faced for three full carts of liquor during a 7 hour, situation. Not to mention, these guys are well known for being drinking, drug addicts, and the lot. This is well known. This is well known. I'm gonna play an excerpt from The Dark Side of the Ring, where it's a little bit more in depth and explained. I think it's very important to know. This is a referee. I forgot his name. Is it Mike Chioda? I'm not sure. They could probably say his name, but this is a referee describing what these wrestlers, type of men these wrestlers are and well known. And listen to the way he describes it. And this is the attendant who, if you watch The Dark Side of the Ring, this woman literally has post-traumatic stress disorder from the whole situation. All right, listen.
We've been up in the air before. It was very, very evident that we had a lot of drunk people.
Oh, shoot, the boys they can get drunk in 1 hour. When you're doing GHB or pills or anything like that, Percocets or Vicodins and stuff that were around, you could do a lot of damage, period, in 1 hour. But it was always booze and pills in the WWE because we had doctor's prescriptions, and as long as you had a doctor's prescription, it was okay. Of course, it wasn't because, we'd have doctors write us whatever we wanted. Halcyons, GHB, Placidil. No, the Placidils, I think, were in the early 90s. But I know there was some GHB and Halcyons on the flight. Halcyons were some things that we took sometimes just to go to sleep for a long period of time. And sometimes you use them for a rib, too.
Sometimes you use them for a rib. That's what he said. That's Mike Chioda and PJ Polanco, by the way. And the lady speaking was the flight attendant. So, with that being said, they went in depth and they spoke about H-bombs called halcyons, and they would give this to wrestlers to knock them out and fuck them up and make them miss matches and things like that, and they called that ribbon. Something very damning coming from RVD himself about these H-bombs. I think it's very important that we go ahead and listen to this coming from the horse's mouth, because he was also on the plane and also knew the world, what was going on and what was accepted. And I want y'all to listen. The usage of the word boys. That's what's blowing me.
Putting these H-bombs in the drinks in order to get the mark to pass out. They shave his head, whatever they do. Girls, local girls, were put out so the boys could have their way with them while they're out. I mean, this was... it was kind of normal in some of the places that I've been.
Never leave your drink exposed, because the boys think seeing somebody froth at the mouth and slur their speech, they can't stand up, manage their own faculties, is funny.
Okay, that was JR. So understand, this is the type of men that we watch every fucking week think shit is funny. Motherfuckers frothing at the mouth and damn they're about to die. They thought shit like that was funny. Anyway, let's move on. So the next thing, Brock Lesnar had the brawl with Kurt Hennig, right? Kurt Hennig sprayed whipped cream on Brock Lesnar's head when he was asleep, and then he smacked the whipped cream, and Brock Lesnar woke up. He was very upset because Brock Lesnar, he's new to this whole thing, and he's not down for the ribbon. But these guys like to haze. And if you remember, Leo Rush had an issue with that. And I think, what's his name? The guy who was complaining about the T-shirts, he had an issue with that. The hazing. The need to make men do things in order to get in this boys club. So him and Kurt Hennig had this big fight. They two big ass burly 6'5", 6'4" men, 300-pound men, slamming and breaking up all over this place, all over this flight. The attendant was just absolutely mortified. They had to get the pilot to come and sit these motherfuckers down. everybody thought it was a good time. She said it was the flight attendant Heidi said it was nearly impossible to even break these guys up because they just would not fucking stop. So the next thing, that Terry Reynolds wanted to point out, and she said this more than once before, that Brock Lesnar exposed himself backstage at a WWE show. Okay, she said she walked by, he exposed himself. Goldust or Dustin Rhodes saw that and told her to no sell it. This no selling was being used throughout the show when it came to Terry Reynolds explaining what she had to do to survive in the business. JR also said he has several complaints about Lesnar's behavior on the flight home, but precisely none about the flashing scenario that Reynolds brought up. And, Jim Ross said, listen, I can't be around these guys 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's how he, rationalized his role in all of these situations. The next thing, Ric Flair. This is the explosive part. So there's this thing that Ric Flair does where he puts on his glittering robe and he goes and he walks up and down these flights with his dick out, butt ball naked, and he's swinging his dick and he's making it spin like a helicopter, as Tommy Dreamer described it. Tommy Dreamer was very excited by this. You could see him visibly having a good laugh, saying that Ric Flair had a hammer on him. So Heidi, which is the airline stewardess, she said that she offered Scott Hall some breakfast early. She said Scott pulled her down by her shirt, drooling, and he told her she was going to lick her. Nothing else happened, but she was really shaken up, and she stayed in the kitchen. This is after she got accosted. Now, Scott Hall was on this show, and he also said that he thought Kurt Hennig gave him an H-bomb, which was just described to you, and that knocked him out to where he didn't know what the fuck was going on. Mind you, Scott Hall was in the throes of addiction at this time too. Okay, it came to a point where R.J. Polanco had to put Scott Hall in a wheelchair in order to get him off the plane and get him through customs. After this, Scott Hall ended up getting fired from the WWE. Okay, watching the stewardess trying to get through this whole trip was just excruciating. It was she literally has post-traumatic stress disorder. The stewardess goes on to talk about while Ric Flair was flinging and slinging his dick, everybody's having a good time watching this. He went straight to her while she was in the galley. Okay? And he was all over her and trying to make her touch his penis. This completely mortified the woman. She didn't know what to do. No one stopped her. No one did anything. The only thing that stopped Ric Flair was Dustin getting on the microphone, and I think he said some silly shit, and Ric Flair stopped. The Nature Boy, which is the nickname, they're talking about his penis, is she went on to say the story. He said, naked isn't strictly true. Rick was wearing his trademark robes, but nothing else. He walked into the kitchen looking for a Coke and began windmilling his penis. The stewardess was uncomfortable. She did say she never felt in serious danger, but she said he wanted her to touch his genitals. Okay? Ric Flair has previously stated there is no truth to these allegations. That was then followed by news that what's his name? Dustin Rhodes was having his own issue mid-flight because him and Terry had just got a divorce, so he was up there singing some shit to her. And this is where Vince McMahon was mentioned. Vince had to tell JR, because he was in the upper part of the plane, to go back there and do his job because he was the head of talent relations. Go back there and see what the fuck is going on. And Vince basically, I guess, put on his sleepwear and just said, I don't got nothing to do with this. Go back there and do your fucking job. And this is what JR was doing the whole plane ride, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So he told Dustin to sit his ass down and cut the shit. At one point, JR was asked How come everyone else got fired? Everyone else was going through the motions. Kurt Hennig ended up getting fired, and he died later on. Scott Hall was fired. WWE gave out all these fines, but Ric Flair got off. And JR said, that's a good question. And he went on to call Ric Flair made man. You know why? Because Ric Flair was making money. Everybody enjoys the woo. Everybody likes his persona. Everybody, all of it. And because of that, money talks, bullshit walks. Remember, this was the 2002. This was not 1960s, 70s, 80s. This was only 18, 19 years ago. Okay? The next thing, there was a lawsuit brought to WWE. The stewardess told her bosses at SportJet what happened. They told her to keep it down because WWE is a paying partner. They also said we got to take the concerns of the clients very seriously and privacy, and we're not gonna, go any more into this. So she was left to her devices. She was offered a financial settlement through WWE, and her husband told her to take it. She still seemed like she did not want to take it. She seemed like she did want to fight it, but she was, doing what her husband told her to do, and it's just really hard to watch. So Tommy Dreamer wasn't the only one to play down the situation. Terry Runnels really came off like the type of woman. She comes off like the type of woman that will see a woman getting fucked up and she'll turn her head. She also needs to be brought to the table because everybody had this bullshit with the boys being boys. She kept saying, "Oh, well, this is what the boys do." That everybody kept referring to the situation as, "Oh, this is what the boys doing," and the boys, and it's just like, I don't fucking understand. And then at one point, Tommy Dreamer's like, "Yeah, well, if she was so concerned about the situation, she should have went ahead and took WWE to court." But this woman had a family. She did what her husband told her to do. You didn't hear the whole story. You didn't know what she was going into. You understand? So these people are just talking. I mean, they can say what they want to say, but and try to protect the biz shit is ridiculous. Oh, we got to protect the biz, the biz, the biz, the biz. I don't like that. Terry Reynolds needs to be brought to the conference too. Protect the biz. After they got off the plane, she said that there were needles, pills, vomit, shit, you name it, food left on the plane. She told the other flight attendant, "We're not cleaning this. Get the fuck out of here. We're not doing this." And no one, I didn't blame her. I said I wouldn't have did it either. JR went on to say that the plane and the way it was left, if it was anybody else, the FBI would have been called. But because it was them, they were allowed to do what they wanted to do. Because this plane company got the money, and money talks, apparently. And when they showed her, the stewardess in the later parts of, when they showed the stewardess in the later part of the video, she still looked like she was going through it. She ain't look like she ain't never recovered. That woman never fucking recovered. Okay? The plane ride from hell was more in depth than WWE's jovial look back, but it wasn't exhaustive. Michael Hayes' ponytail. They did say that Kurt Hennig cut his ponytail off, and then they took the ponytail and stuck it to a door, and JR took it off, and Michael Hayes was very upset about that. That was Kurt Hennig calling himself. No, that was X-Pac wanting to be down with the guys. I remember one of either Polanco or said that RVD that he always wanted to be down and was willing to do any fucking thing to get in with these guys. And he cut that man's ponytail. Kurt Angle had a scuffle with Vince McMahon, and he's talked about this, and they didn't put that in this episode. Vince McMahon isn't mentioned, period. And I find it really hard to believe that Vince McMahon literally was in the front of that plane and did not come back. At one point, Mike Chioda, the guy who was laughing and the boys and the drugs, he even said he wondered what Vince McMahon was doing while these people was back here fucking shit up. He must have missed the eye-popping visuals of his boss jostling with a gold medal winner in the aisle. So they saying that Vince McMahon was cutting up too, but he never was mentioned. So there's that. So look, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to wrap this up. First of all, what I'm seeing online is disgusting. It's dismissive, and I'm fucking tired of it. You cannot sit here and say, oh, this happened such a long time ago. People need to get over some shit. When it's you, your family, when people you love who are victimized and have to deal with some shit, you don't never tell nobody to get over nothing. I'm tired of it. Y'all need to grow up and do fucking better. Okay? I listen to a podcaster make little undercut comments like, oh, are we canceling this person? Oh, are we canceling this person? Yes, you're canceled. Yeah, you canceled. And the fact that y'all took the term cancel from a culture that had absolutely nothing to do with mainstream and turned it into some terrible shit. Y'all took the word social justice warrior and turned it into that some fucking awful shit. The word independence has all negative connotation. It's bizarre. Boys will be boys cannot happen. That's why you got R. Kelly. That's why you got Harvey Weinstein. That's why you got Bill Cosby. This is why you got coyotes and sex trafficking. This is why children get molested. This is why women get raped. This is why you can't get justice when it comes to sexual misconduct because of this boys will be boys mentality. And then when you add drugs and you add, participants that are willing and the shit's enabled, this is the type of shit you got going on. I can't wait to see the steroid trials. I can't wait to see it. I watched the Brian Pillman episode. Blew my fucking mind. I looked at the other, it wasn't a Dark Side of the Ring, it was a China expose on Ice 2. Watch that. What they did to China and what happened to her was absolutely fucking ridiculous and egregious. Why is X-Pac still allowed to even walk in WWE's beyond me? Not only did this man shit in people's foods, he cut that man hair, he called himself ribbon and doing all this bullshit. At one point, I think somebody got punched in the face. What's his name? From the APA. He was asleep, and the guy, I think it was Kurt Hennig, punched him in the face. He woke up there, and he ended up getting knocked out the rest of the flight. This is not fun jokes. This is full on hazing. If you go to college and you want to join a fraternity sorority and they make you do shit that puts your life in danger, it is hazing. You can go to jail. Why is it enforced one place but not enforced another place? Is it because of the money and the power? Vince McMahon is a billionaire. He can do what the fuck he wants to do. He's doing what the fuck he wants to do right fucking now. And you know what we do? We look at it. We don't speak on it. We turn a blind eye. And sometimes that's not true. It's just our voices aren't as loud as other people's voices. And the people that have the voices, they want to have the inside, so they're not willing to say what needs to be said because they don't want to be ostracized from the business. So they're willing to say, oh, well, it's not that big a deal. And people like that, like Tommy Dreamer, like Terry Reynolds, are about to have a comeuppance. And I don't feel bad for them. Ric Flair is known to take his persona and literally live the life. This is the problem. When you sit and you watch the Pillman episode, when you watch the Von Erichs and all these different episodes, these people, Macho Man Randy Savage, these people take, not Macho Man, the Ultimate Warrior. They literally try to live this life because they never peaked. They never peaked. And so now this is the opportunity to peak. Some people don't peak past high school. For some people, high school is it. This is the best time of their life. And when they get out of high school, they ain't shit. Some people have a terrible high school career and go to the moon, as Cameron Grimes said. To the moon. It's bizarre. But RVD said something just as poignant as when John John, what's his fucking name? Anyway, fucking Moxley. When he said WWE has a tendency to take something from you that you love to punish you, RVD said something super poignant in this video, and I think it needs to be said more and more.
It's a different culture. It's a different era. I think that's the upshot. And maybe good news that incidents like the plane ride from hell smarten some of these younger kids up. I want to be in the wrestling business. I've always idolized this guy, but I do know I'm not going to pattern some of my career after this guy. But you make good choices that way.
I think that there's definitely a sense of that cliche, never meet your heroes. The people who have watched for generations and got them through their lives, I don't think that they all need to see Ric Flair doing the helicopter with his penis. Like, I don't really think it's good for everybody to know this about their heroes. You know, some of these guys are freaks.
I feel this is trying to portray someone as this sexual predator, and it's not. It's a joke, it's a gag. And today, 1000% inappropriate. My hairstyle is inappropriate right now. I am somehow offending someone right now with my double ponytail. How dare I have two ponytails? And my answer is I'm 50 years old, I'm happy I have hair. But if you're asking me, I've hung out with Ric Flair. I've never seen him try to force his will against anybody.
I don't feel that his intent was to rape me. But what he did was wrong.
That was Tommy Dreamer being a jackass. That was the stewardess saying she don't think he was trying to rape her, but he was acting like a fucking asshole, and she still can't sleep well. RVD said, I don't think it's a good idea that people know what their heroes are like. They're fucking freaks. Let me say this, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Let me say this. This whole everybody's sensitive, we can't do what we want to do. Let me tell y'all something. Don't wait till the shit happens to you for people to activate and help your ass. Being put into positions and being violated is something that everyone won't experience, but a selected few, a selected many will experience some form of violence, unfortunately. A lot of it is because of positions that they were put in by society, positions that they were put in because of family and how they're set up. But what you're not going to do is invalidate someone else's experience because you think the person that you know is a fucking friend. You know how many people are fucking friends who go out and do crazy shit and you never know it? Everybody said, oh, he was a cool guy. And the guy goes and kills his whole entire family. I didn't know he had it in him. People aren't sensitive when they bring your ass to the floor for you to answer to shit that you did wrong. If you go to a job and they pull up your shit and they say, hey, why did you do that? How is that going to look for the company? You have to answer to that shit, even though you did that shit 10 years ago. It's called a background check. It's called disclosing your convictions. If you're a child molester or a sexual predator or a rapist, you have to disclose that. I don't give a fuck if you did it when you was 22 and you 60-something years old now. I need to fucking know. I live in a neighborhood where I get child predator cards because I have a child and everyone around here has kids, and there's a school with it not close to us, but in the neighborhood, we get child predator cards. The child predators are old. And it says the shit that they did on the card. So because they old, they did the shit 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago, should I not know it? Am I being sensitive to know something like that? It's not a joke. She don't like it. Y'all want to call shit dark humor. When you say something disrespectful and dumb, you make fun of slavery, you make fun of the Holocaust, you make fun of people getting hurt, maimed, and killed and shit. And then when people say that's not funny, you say, oh, you sensitive. Oh my God, everyone's so sensitive. Oh my God, in my day, we could do this, we could do that. Don't make it right. don't make it right. I see the shit when people bring up corporal punishment in their children. Oh, well, you got to beat the kids. No, you don't got to beat the kids. Oh my God, y'all so sensitive. That's why they act the way they act now. Oh, they act the way they act because you finally get to see the personality in the child that someone didn't beat into submission. Just because you got hung out to dry, don't mean somebody else got to deal with it. Just because it was the norm 10 years ago, don't mean it's the norm now. This is why this country don't progress as it is, because there's too many of you who act like the goddamn people running the country, running these corporations. You had a whole TV show called Mad Men that showed ad executives doing terrible shit, and it was allowed to do it because, oh, that's just what it was, and back in the day, and that's what it is. You have conversations with people in 2021 talking about how to make women submit to men and why women have too much education and why education is ruining women. You have the state of Texas right now trying to strike down laws that were protecting people because now they feel like they got the upper hand because all of you literally turn your head and say, oh, well, it worked for me back in the day. It'll work for you too. No, it's not. It's not a joke. It's not everyone sensitive. You fucking wrong and you're gonna be brought to the carpet. Just like if I didn't say it before, Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, just like any serial killer, just like those fucking Nazis during the Holocaust, 90, 100 years old, still taking them to the head for some shit they did in the 40s. And you know what they say? Oh, I was just doing my job. Yes, you were killing people doing your job, and you are going to deal with it today. People want justice. It's the same thing. Yeah, I'm about to get deep. Emmett Till was murdered. That woman told a lie. To this day, justice has not been retroactively restored. That woman's still alive. Are they going to bring her to the carpet? Oh, America has a statute of limitations. I wonder fucking why. There's no statute of limitations for sexual assault and sexual abuse. That's why you got Penn State. That's why just recently during in Congress, you had the Olympians, Simone Biles and them, telling you how this man, that fucking doctor, molested them. Over how many, over a 5-10 year period? He in jail for 2 life terms. Should the women not have said nothing? They were teenagers at the time. Oh, well, now they want to talk. I don't want to hear it. It's justice for them if it stops it from happening to someone else. Yes, Ric Flair almost died twice. Yes, Ric Flair is a great guy to you. Ric Flair's disgusting. I have a problem looking at Hulk Hogan on my fucking TV. I have a problem that Jackson Riker is even on television. I have an issue with X-Pac even being celebrated. Scott Hall got fired, and look, and you know, that's it. I have an issue with that. I think it's funny that Scott Steiner's kid is in NXT, but WWE don't want to have nothing to do with the Steiner name. That's hilarious to me. Big Papa Pump. I don't get it. I guess I'm not gonna get it because this is a boys network, and a lot of men need this network because this is all they got. Outside of this network and yes men and oh we we can do it and ain't nobody can tell us what to do. What do they have? I'm gonna leave it right there because I could talk for 2 hours. I'm not even gonna do that. I want to know what y'all think though in the comments. I want y'all to hit me in the comments. Tell me what y'all think. I want you to tell me what you think about Terry Reynolds, R.J. Polanco, Tommy Dreamer, what's his name, Vince McMahon. I want y'all to tell me what y'all think about retroactive justice, cancel culture. Oh, you can't cancel. I cancel motherfuckers. I'm not supporting nobody, and I'm one person. It make me feel good. Like I said, every time I watch these episodes, I just cannot continue enjoying wrestling knowing motherfuckers is crazy. Knowing motherfuckers is crazy. I can't do it. I can't. So I'm gonna leave it there. Y'all check out Dark Side of the Ring. They're gonna be having a whole bunch of stuff coming up. And it's funny, Chris Jericho is narrating, but his wife is a fucking MAGA princess. And I and enjoyed them people trying to have a coup d'etat in the fucking Washington. And he was having a terrible time last summer during the whole George Floyd incident. He was just having a very difficult time not saying stupid shit. So tell me what y'all think in the comments and hit me up. Make sure you follow me. This is Wrestling Color Podcast right here on YouTube. Thanks. Talk to y'all later.